Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing y'all my Galley box. I use this on my little Montgomery 17 sailboat, and since it doesn't have a dedicated galley, it doesn't have anywhere, it doesn't have a stove in it or anything like that. Of course I had to bring a stove to cook my food and stuff, and I didn't want to bring like a whole big stove, and I wanted something I could use for storage, for cooking stuff, so this is what I came up with. The reason that I'm making this video is because someone over at the website Sailboat owners on the forums asked me about this box, and they remembered it from a while back, and someone had a question, so they said, hey, someone needs some information on your box, can you give us something? So here you go. Now the box I made out of just some 1/2-inch birch plywood, and it measures 16 inches by 10 inches by 11 inches high here, 12 inches at the top of the stove. Now it doesn't have a lid or anything on it. I have these little bungee cords going across the top of the stove, also the top of a little lid here that I've got so I can get to the inside of it. And to hold the bungees, I just have two little screws on each side that the bungees hook to. That's not really a good way to do it. It was a spur of the moment thing. Kind of like this whole box. But inside, if you can see, maybe, see, I don't like that. The stove just sits right on the top, and it's just basically sitting in there. This is all it is. It's just a little Coleman stove that goes to the top of one of those little propane things. And I don't know how much it was. It was pretty inexpensive, but I wanted something compact that I could build around and not an entire stove. I wanted to build the box around the, I guess you call it the eye of the stove. Now inside of the stove, or inside of the Galley box, I keep a lot of stuff. I don't know if you can see it very good, but I've got a little skillet and a spatula in there. I've got a water bottle with some olive oil in it. I got some Dawn. I would use this to clean the pots and pans, and also that's what I bathed with and stuff while I was down in the Florida Keys. I just bathed in salt water. It lapped up good, and they say it's good to rinse in fresh water, but I never did it. I got some honey in here for oatmeal. I've got a cooking knife that I just made a little sheath out of duct tape with. It's just a knife I would use to cut up fish if I ever caught any, but I never got to catch any. I got a little cheap can opener. Glad I ate a lot of canned goods. I've got these little, I don't know, spice containers that I put my own spices in. I got, one of them's got some Tony Chachere's Creole, and this one's got some salt and pepper, mostly pepper. And this one's just got some Cavender's Greek seasoning. Then I've got a plastic fork, like a kind of I guess a real durable plastic. I got it at Walmart at the camping aisle. Then I've got my, this is my little GSI titanium pot I use backpacking, and it's real light and it's small and compact, and that's what I would basically cook everything in pretty much. I mean, because a lot of my meals I did backpacking style, and I just had to boil water and my oatmeal in the morning and stuff like that. But I've got a little pack towel, a little lightweight towel in here, and a little cup that's in there, and it's got some measurements on the side if you need to measure some water. That's basically what that is. That's basically everything that's in it. Now I'm going to try to show you how this thing's made, but I'm going to try to get a good angle. It's going to be a little tough, and I don't have real good lighting, so just bear with me. But as you see, I just have these, like I said, these bunny straps. They just go over the top. And I have my stove sitting in here. It's just sat in there with gravity. It just holds itself in there. And it just picks right up out of there. I've just got a hole cut for it, and I had to raise it up a little bit more, get a little better clearance for it, and I sized the box where it would just almost touch the bottom. And this is just a regular lid, just a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. It's got some little, I don't know, little blocks to sit on up here at the top. Then I've got these two compartments down in the center, or down on the inside of the box, where my pot fit in one perfectly. Then fortunately all those the spices and my honey and stuff would fit in there, and I just jam the spoon and fork down in it. that's all it is really. I mean, it's nothing fancy whatsoever. It's just something I just needed and threw together real quick. And I don't know, it probably took me 30 minutes to make this sucker. And when I was done, I coated it with several coats of polyurethane to kind of waterproof it. And it worked good. But, you know, I want to make some improvements on it. Like, one thing I noticed that it needed, it could certainly use a lid, because it's bungee cords, and, you know, the bungee cords holding my stove in didn't work. I mean, the stove stayed in, it didn't fall out, but it could be better. And holding this little thing in, this lid in it kind of worked, bungee cords kind of worked. But one thing I didn't like having little screws sticking out the side, and didn't like having little bungee cords on it, because the hooks would catch on stuff when I'd be in my little boat trying to get things out and around it. It was aggravating. And so I think I'm going to redesign it. I may put have a lid on here that will fold off and be used as another kind of counter space. And then, I don't know, I've got some ideas in my head. I don't know what else. I had some ideas. Now they have escaped me. Maybe they'll come back. I've seen some others on the internet where like the sides will fold down and open up so you get to the inside. I might like that, I might not. Whenever I initially thought about this box, I didn't imagine it being this high, this tall. I don't really like it being this tall because it's kind of top heavy. But I mean, it works. But the reason it had to be this tall was because of this tall stove set up there. And originally what I tried, I had a hose. I bought a little hose, like a freaking $25 hose. I don't know, it was expensive for a little bitty hose to go from here to this tank. It was like 6 inches long or something. And I bought it because my intentions were to lay this tank down sideways and then have the eye sitting upright, so this box could be a whole lot shallower. Then of course, I may not have as much storage. I think I probably would have, because there's a lot of open space in this box, but that idea didn't work. I can't remember why. Maybe I'll have to rethink it and figure out the problem, solve the problem again, or figure out the problem, run into the problem again. Also, I think another problem I had with it is a lot of times, since it was so top heavy, whenever I would store it, I'd want to store it laying down, because when you're on a little 17-foot sailboat and you're sailing the Florida Keys by yourself, it's tough, and sometimes the water gets rough and the boat starts rocking like crazy. And you can't deal with things, so this thing would fall over. I was scared it was going to fall over and something going to, just go bad down below while I was up dealing with sails and all kinds of junk. And so I would store it laying down. That's basically how it would go. I'd store it laying down. Then whenever I'd use it, all my little spices and my forks and my pots and whatever would just be everywhere outside. And I don't like that. I want it to, when I close it up, and if I have to lay it down, I want everything to stay still. So I think that's what I'm going to try to redesign next in the next, version of this. I may put like a little, maybe a little drawer, or I don't really want any extra latches down here, or any lids down here to keep all this stuff closed. Maybe like some bungee netting to keep everything, everything in place. That might work. Or either a little drawer that could house just my spices or something. I don't know, but I'm going to have to brainstorm that and come up with a good way to keep everything organized and in place while this thing gets tossed around. I think those are the main improvements I want to make, and I'm going to be making a new box here pretty soon because, of course, it's about to be getting warm down here in South Alabama and North Florida, where I typically go sailing, and I want to have a new box ready. And also, we're going, me and one of my buddies were planning on going on the beer cruise, or the beer, I guess they call it the beer cruise down in Pensacola. It stands for Backwater Environmental Escape Rendezvous. I don't think it's really centered around beer that much, but I've never been. I mean, it's a bunch of, old sailors. I don't think it's that bad. But, we're not going just for the beer, although we probably will have a beer or two, but we're going to go and have a good time, no matter what. But I want this thing ready for the beer cruise. That sounds so bad. I'm scared to post it on my Facebook. I'm going on the beer cruise, but it's okay. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sure I cut out a lot of the rambling that I did in the editing of this video. But like I said, I'm going to be making another box here soon. And I'm still looking for ideas, so if you have any ideas or something I may not be thinking about, shoot me an email, shoot me a message on YouTube or something, and let me know, because I'm all ears. And if you want to see some more of my videos, go to my YouTube channel, Sailing and Such, and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you look forward to the new Galley box. Thank y'all. God bless.